Okay. So as I already told you, today we are going to discuss about what are all the activities that we need to perform as soon as you are done with the build of an operating system. Okay. So there are a couple of activities that are checklist you have. You need to make sure you need to perform them before you give this server to the production or before you give this machine to the onboarding. Okay. So as soon as I heard this word called onboarding, you may have some questions, okay, doubts. What do you mean by onboarding? See, onboarding means that you are officially telling that computer or that server is done with all the activities and it is good for monitoring. So monitoring means what? See, we need to make sure that particular server or an application is always healthy. So you cannot monitor that just by opening your eyes always, right? So there are a lot of tools are there in the market, okay? Those will do the monitoring of the server. Like as soon as you're done with the monitoring, what happens? They will tell the monitoring team will configure, okay, you need to monitor this server always 24/7. As soon as the CPU goes more than 90%, create an incident. As soon as the memory utilization is more than 90%, then create an incident. Then as soon as the disk, any of the disk, the utilization of the disk is goes or cross more than 90%, then create a disk. Or if the server is not pinging, okay, then as soon as it is detected the packet drop, then create an incident. Okay, so what it will do, it will always keep an eye on the computer or on the server or on the application, okay, and it will we will tell the parameters or metrics which that needs to be monitored. Is there any anomaly detected? It will create an incident. That incident is nothing but a ticket, and we normally work on those tickets. Okay, so before you give this server or computer to the production or onboarding, so there are a couple of checklists that we perform as soon as we are done with the installation. Okay, so the first one is you need to always make sure whether the computer or the server has got all the required drivers, whether it has got the VGA driver, whether it has got the network interface card driver, whether it has got any other driver, sound card, or maybe any other drivers for that matter. So what we have to do, we need to make sure whether the driver is installed or not. Okay, so the first one is drivers, or in the if it is a VMware, we need to install the VMware tools. Okay, this is first one. I'll show you how to do that, but let us understand what are all the activities are there. So as soon as you install the drivers or VMware tools, the computer will get restarted. As soon as the computer get restarted, the next thing that we have to do, we have to make sure that computer has got a proper naming convention. Means the computer should be renamed properly, because as soon as you install the computer, it will come in a different format. If you look at my computer name here, you go to command prompt and just type host name. Okay, you see here, this is the default naming convention. This is my desktop, I mean the operating system, right? So it is telling like desktop hyphen 53 IA 295. With this, you will not be able to make out anything. You can only understand this is a desktop, but actually this is not a desktop. I'm using my laptop. Okay, so there is no matching. Okay, the naming convention how it should be is, as soon as you read the name of a computer, you should be able to understand what is this computer, which application is running, which location it is. At least 40 to 50% of the information you should be able to grab. So the naming convention should be like that. Normally how it will be, if it is a laptop, LT, if it is a Bangalore location, LT hyphen BNG hyphen, which in Bangalore if you have multiple facilities like 01, 02, 03, then they will put LT hyphen BNG hyphen like 01, and then 001, 002, 003, something like that. The naming convention will be there. Then as soon as you read it, you will understand. If it is LT, yes, it's a laptop. Hyphen BNG, yes, it is belongs to Bangalore location. Hyphen 01, yes, this is facility 01. Then the computer numbers will be there. Okay, that is how the naming convention will help you to understand what exactly this computer is all about. Okay, so the second option is proper naming. Proper naming of a PC. Okay, then third one is you need to make sure the computer is in the right time zone. Okay, so say for example you are sitting in India but you are supporting for an American client or maybe some UK client. So there is huge time difference, right? If you go for America, almost around 11 and almost 12 hours difference will be there. But if you go to UK, around 4.5 hours difference will be there, right? So here now the time is here around 7:44. Okay, so when in UK it is 7:44, maybe in India it will be around 12:30 or 1 o'clock it will be there. Okay, so the time zone is actually matters because when you schedule the changes, say for example, if you want to restart a server, you have got the downtime of maybe around evening 8 o'clock. Okay, so you have to schedule the change according to the customer time zone. No matter where you are sitting and where you are working. Say, I am sitting in India. For me, it doesn't matter what is my time. But I am supporting to my client, and I need to make sure the clients will not have any impact with the work what I do. So they will tell you restart the service by 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Then what you have to do? You have to make sure when you schedule the change, okay, that should be in the CET timing zone only. CET time zone, so that it will restart 8 p.m. UK time only and not 8 p.m. IST time, our timing. Okay, so that is why. And also one more thing, this, if you have an organization, right, in your organization, even if you have 20,000 30,000 computers, all the 20 30,000 computers will have the same timings. How it is possible? We will, when you install the Active Directory, there is a role get installed that is called as PDC emulator. Okay, and that PDC emulator makes sure all the computers within the domain, right, they will have the same timings. Okay, that is the reason this timing is very very important. Okay, I'll write as time correction. Okay, time zone. Okay, then next, once that is done, you need to make sure what all software that you need to install, required applications has to be installed, software to be installed. Maybe every computer should have some PDF reader or MS Office or Outlook configuration or VPN configuration. Okay, so blah blah blah, multiple applications are there, that depends on the organization to organization. Okay, and we need to make sure all the required tools are installed before you give to the system to the monitoring. Next next you need to make sure whether the partitions are correctly properly done or not. Okay, so say for example, yesterday while installing the computer, I told you I have 60 GB of drive, HDD hard drive, and I told you 50 GB for OS plus 10 GB for data. I need to make sure the partitioning is properly done or not. Partitioning is done or not. Okay, that is also one of the responsibility. And then lastly, you need to make sure whether the required access is given or not. Say for example, the application that the requester, you have got a request to install some server, and that person told for person ABC or person XYZ, please give system administrator access or local admin access or just RDP, remote desktop access. So you need to make sure the required access has been granted or not. Granting the access. Okay, and final one. Okay, you need to make sure the computer is connected to a domain or domain joined or it is in work group. Okay, you need to make sure whether the computer is in domain join or not. Domain joining. Okay, so if it is not domain joined, it will be in work group. Okay, so these are all the checklists that we perform before you hand over to the computer to the onboarding or monitoring. Okay, so for monitoring there are a couple of tools, there are various tools are there. Splunk as an example. Okay, for monitoring normally we will use Splunk. Every company will be use, most of the company will be use Splunk. So Splunk is a monitoring tool. If somebody asks you what is the monitoring tool that you are using, you need to tell we use Splunk. Do you know about Splunk? You tell no, I don't know about Splunk, because the Splunk will be managed by a dedicated team. So to manage the Splunk, there will be a dedicated team. What is our work? Our work is to just install the drivers, sorry, install the operating system, and in the tools I told you, right, installation of the softwares. In this softwares, what we have to install? We have to install the Splunk agent. Just installing the Splunk agent is our work. As soon as we install the Splunk agent, automatically this computer will start sending the metrics, CPU, memory, and the hard disk or heartbeat information to the Splunk. And Splunk keeps an eye on this computer. And is there any anomaly or is there any difference it notice? Then it will automatically create an incident. Where the incident will be created? The incident will be created in service now. Snow. Yes, Snow means it is service now. Okay, this is your ticketing tool. So this is your monitoring tool. This is your ticketing tool. I will show you how the ticketing tool looks like, how the ticket will be created, what are all activities that you have to do in the ticketing. That is the last class. Okay. So this is about the post-build activities. So what we do now, let us go quickly to the VMware estate. And if you remember, yesterday we have built this server, Windows 10. So yesterday we have built this Windows 10. Let me power on that Windows 10 machine, and we will do all the post-build activities that I was talking. Okay. So like driver installation, naming convention, time zone, all those things we will check. So let me log into this Windows 10. To log into this Windows 10, what you have to do, in the VMware console, click on this Windows 10 W10, right click, and there is an option called send control alt delete. Select that send control alt delete, and I have created a user called admin. Let me log into the admin user. I've entered the username and password, and now I'm getting into the computer. Now I'm able to log into the computer. What I will do, let me make it full screen. Okay, see here you have multiple options. Okay, here you see full screen option. Let me click on the full screen. As soon as I make the full screen, you still see that even though you have made full screen, but the computer is not giving the full screen. Why? Because it is lacking of some drivers. Okay, so the what I will do, I'll just exit from the full screen. Okay, here we have multiple options: file, edit, VM, view, tabs, help, etc. So normally how to install the VMware tools, that you have to go to the VM tab here. Go to VM tab here, click on the VM tab, and you see here install VMware tools, the last but second option, install VMware tools. As soon as you click on install VMware tools, a CD will get inserted to this Windows 10 machine, and you see there is an autoplay opens now, and it tells would you like to install the VMware tools. That pop-up will come. If the sometimes the pop-up will not come, see it got installed now. See autoplay DVD CD. If I would have clicked that, it would have been opened now. So what I'll do, I wanted to show you how to check that in the PC. So just go to the file. This is the file explorer. Go to file explorer, and you see here this PC. Click on this PC, and you see here Now the DVD drive VMware tools got populated here. Just double click this, okay, and go to setup. Double click and go to setup. And now it will ask you, see, do you want to allow this app to make the changes to your device? Yes, I want to install the VMware tools. Then obviously the change has to happen. See, it is unzipping the installation file. It will just unzip and it will prompt you with the installation wizard now. There is a pop-up comes now. See, the installation wizard populated here. So just click on next. So it is asking you three options. What kind of setup you wanted? Would you like to go with a typical one, complete one, or custom one? To go to the typical, it will not install everything. It will only install the very the on top of the things whatever required. That is only. Complete, it will install everything. Custom, you can select what you want, what not you want. Okay. So, but you don't know what all things to be installed. So better not to take the risk. Should always install the complete driver. So driver should be always good to have the latest. Okay. Select the complete so that you will not miss anything. Everything will get installed. Okay. Click on next. Install. Now you see, as soon as the installation begins, this automatically converts to full screen. See, I'm not doing anything now. Now the copying started. It automatically, as soon as it trying to complete, it automatically gives you full screen. So that is what I was telling you. The drivers are very important. If you don't install the driver, the computer performance may be impacted. Our server may not be properly perform. Okay, maybe some network issues or a slowness, computer slowness, and every time it will go for hung. Okay, all these issues will appear. See, it is now changing. It is blinking, right? See, it has become full screen. That means now your drivers are up to date. Okay, so as soon as it get installed, if you click on finish, it will get restart. See, you must restart your system for the configuration changes made to the VMware tools to take effect. If you don't, it won't make the changes. Okay, some changes might not take effect if you don't restart the computer after the VMware tool installation. So you have to, that's why you cannot take the downtime of an application simply like I have to restart the computer. Okay, that is the difference. The client computer, nobody has got an impact. You can restart n number of time. You can check with the user and you can ask, sir, I can restart the computer. If you say yes, you can do that. But server is not like that. Server restart cannot happen simply like that, because server will not serve the application during the downtime. Okay, and that will be impacted. I'll tell you how it will be impacted. So, say for example, you have an organization. So maybe in that organization, say for example, they manufacture some food products. Okay, let us take a chips packet. Lay's chips will come, right? So what has happened? The Lay's chips packet is getting manufactured in the factory. Okay, and there is an application server which prints the labels on the chips packet, Lay's packet. Okay, say for example, as soon as the manufacturing is happened, the packet has happened, the chips packet will flow like that, and on top of the chips packet it will tell, okay, manufacture date this one, expiry date this one, and some content information it will print. Imagine if you restart the server during the production, okay, and per minute about 100 packets are flowing there. Okay, to restart the server, normally it will take about minimum 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes downtime we normally take. Imagine if the computer goes down for 20 minutes, okay, and per minute 100 packets, 20 into 100, and we don't know how many number of lines, production lines are there. Okay, if there is 10 production lines, so almost 10 into 20, then into 100, so such a business loss will be there. Okay, so if you don't have a manufacture date, or if you don't have a expiry date, nobody will buy the products. Correct, na? So that is why the server is always crucial. That is the only difference between a desktop support and a server administrator. Desktop support admin has got a liberty. He can restart and he can do anything because there is no impact for any user apart from that particular user. But server is not like that. Server means that is like, breathe of everyone. Okay. So server is always very, very crucial. Okay. So that is the difference. Now let me log in to the machine. I have logged into the machine now. So the second one is, let me check the renaming of a computer. I mean, if the computer has got the proper renaming, I mean naming or not. If it is not properly named, then we can name it. Okay. So any idea how can I check the computer name, guys? How can I check the computer name? Now, yep, go on.
Uh, Two types, sir, that graphically and CMD.
Correct. So we can check the computer name in two ways. One is we can see graphically, like Keshav said, what you have to do, you have to go to your file explorer, and from then you have to go to this PC, right click, and go to properties. Here also you can see the computer name. Okay, this is one way. Still loading. Yeah. You see here my desktop, my computer name is desktop KSLPQ3H. Okay, so this is not properly named. Okay, but here if you see in the VMware console, the name of the computer is W10. Correct, huh? See Windows 10. Here is it is Windows 10, but inside it is desktop support. I mean desktop hyphen some random number is there. So this is one way of checking. Okay, there is a name difference will be there. So whatever name is there in the VMware console, the same name should be there inside also. Okay, there should not be any difference, because normally we never, when you have 1000 2000 servers in the VMware console, if you have the name difference, how will you identify the server? Correct, na? That's very, very difficult. But if you have proper naming inside outside, you can just come and check W10 like this. See, W10 came now. It is easy for search options. Okay, so this is one way of checking. Another way, you can use some commands to directly go to that portal. Okay, sysdm.cpl, if you do, it will take you to the computer name option. See, there is again the same name came, right? Desktop hyphen KSLPQ3H. If you don't want to do that also, there is a simple command called host name. See, it will also give the same name only. See, three ways you can check the name of a computer. Okay, see command prompt also you can see, and you can directly browse by going to the file explorer, this PC properties, and you can use a command called sysdm.cpl to directly open the properties tab in the command prompt. See, computer name. So here only you will check the naming. Here only you will see whether the computer is there in the work group or domain, or to domain join also the same command will be used. So now let me reset the or rename the computer. So renaming the computer also two ways. Okay, you can directly go to this PC here, go to properties. This is little lengthier. Okay, and here you have something called advanced system settings here, or you can see rename this PC. If you go to rename this PC, it will directly take you there, or if you go to advanced also, it will go to there. Okay, then go to computer rename. This is a graphical view. If you don't want this one, what you can do, you can go to command prompt and run the same command, sysdm.cpl, sysdm.cpl, system domain management dot control panel. Okay, so if you open that, it will directly take to the computer name. Just click on change name here. See, here two things are there. As soon as you open this computer name, your cursor will be here in the computer description. I have seen most of the people, they will enter PC here W10 like this, but it won't be take effect because that's a description. Okay, but what you have to do, you have to click on here change, click on the change and add the computer name as W10 because my computer name in the VMware console it is Windows 10. And by looking at the name, you will be able to understand, yes, it's my Windows operating system and it's a Windows 10 client operating system. Okay, just put it in the click on the OK and the computer get restarted now. Apply and the machine get restarted now. So this will take a while. Okay, yeah, Windows is up now. I'm trying to log into the PC. Yeah, now the machine is up. I have logged in. Let me quickly go to the command prompt and check what is my computer name. How to check the computer name? There is a command called host name. See, now the name got changed from the desktop-sql phq something to this w10. Okay, sys dm.cpl will give you the same name. See, Windows 10. So this is how you rename the computer. Now let me check my computer time zone. So how to change the time zone? In the down below right side, okay, you see this time option here. Right click on that and go to adjust time or date or time. Click on that. You see here, my current time zone is UTC or GMT plus 5:30. Okay. So now imagine, look at the time. It is 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock and 8 minutes. Okay. So if you want to change the time zone here, click on the time zone and say, for example, it is UTC 1. If I go to plus 130 UK timing, okay, Amsterdam. See, if I as soon as I make it UTC plus 1, you see maybe the time will get 3.5 hour minus. See, it is 4 hour 38. 4 hours, 4 o'clock 38 minutes. Okay, so this is how the time matters. Imagine if you don't change the time here to the CET timing or UK timing, and if you schedule the some activity in this computer for 8 p.m., rather doing that in the CET timing, it will do it in the IST timing. So it is very crucial. Okay, so let me keep it back to the IST timing only because we are in India now and we are using Indian timing zone, so that's okay. Chennai, Calcutta. Okay, so my time zone is correct here, nothing to worry. Okay, now once you are done with the time zone, so let me check what is other activity we have. Okay, now installation of the required applications. Okay, or before I do that installation of the application, let me finish this partitioning creation. Okay, so if you remember, I have created two partitions. No? One is 50 GB, another one is 10 GB when I install the operating system yesterday. But if I go to my this PC, I can only one drive is healthy, another D drive it is not showing healthy. It is showing as D drive, but it is not showing healthy. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to go to disk management, diskmgt.msc. Okay, disk management dot Microsoft console. Just open that, it will take you to the disk management option. Okay, so this is your primary drive, 10 GB. If you remember, see, I told you first primary drive is your C drive, second primary drive should be your data drive. Right click and make partition as active. Yes. Now the partition is up. Now if you go to this PC, you see you need to format it actually. Okay. First time, right? So all the raw things will get released, all the sectors will be refreshed, and you see here now the D drive is healthy. Double click on it and you can see.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, it is a NTFS format or
it is NTFS. It should be
okay,
NTFS only, not W32. Okay, FAT32. Okay, it should be
okay.
NTFS. Okay. So NTFS means it's security, right? So almost from many years, most of the people we use NTFS only because NTFS is new technology file system. So that if you have NTFS permission, you can define the security at the folder level and the file level as well. Okay, that is the reason. So
Okay.
now the partitions are done. Okay, how to check the partitions? You can go to disk mgmt. Okay, disk management. The disk management can go via here also. You can search like disk management. I normally use commands only. Okay, disk management. See, it came. But I always prefer to use commands because if you use commands, you will get more interest towards the subject. Okay, it will be more interactive. Okay, so now let me copy some files. I want to install some softwares. So in the D drive, I'll create a folder called softwares. Okay, and I'll go to my base machine here and I'll copy few applications. So I'll go to my computer, my base machine, my computer, and I'll go to maybe in D drive, and I should have a folder called softwares. Okay, so let me check this FortiClient or packet tracer or VLC. Okay, let me install the VLC. That is quicker one. Okay, so I'll go here and I can paste it. So if you don't install the Windows VMware tools, right, or VMware tools, you cannot copy the data from your base machine to your virtual machine. So that is why first and foremost thing that you need to install the VMware tools. As I have already installed the VMware tools, I can copy the data from my base machine to my virtual machine. Now let me go to this computer and check in the control panel is already VLC media player is there or not. Okay, how to check? There is a command called appwiz.cpl, application wizard.cpl, and you see all the installed applications. You can see here VMware tools. If you remember, we have installed few minutes back. Okay, and this Microsoft Edge, everything comes by default. Okay, so there is no application called VLC. So you can go in that way, or you can go to search here control panel. You can search control panel. See, you can see control panel. In the control panel, you can see here uninstall a program. If you go there, uninstall a program, you will go to that point, this place. Okay. So I always prefer commands, and you should also please try to use commands. Okay. So now, how to install an application? No matter whatever applications, the same fashion it will be installed only. Okay, so double click on that any application that you want to install, just go to that application. You will have a setup file, click on that setup file, so it automatically start unpacking and it will give you a prompt to install and it will get installed. Okay, click on OK, next, 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 install. That's all. How to install an application? This is how you have to install an application. So let me see if that FortiClient can be installed or not. This is a downloader file, I guess. I don't think. Let me check. Copy. Windows 10. See, it got installed. Finish. Now, if I try to go to application app, application wizard, app wizard, wiz.cpl, you can see the VLC got installed now. See, VLC media player got installed. When it got installed? On 10th of July 2024. I mean, I have just installed it now. Okay, so that is one. Let me check if I can install the FortiClient also. So this FortiClient is nothing but it's one of the VPN tool actually. Okay, so if you want to connect from your home to office, you can use that FortiClient. Okay, in some many companies uses their own things actually. Okay, I think I'm unable to copy it. 1 minute. Right click, copy. It got copied, and let me check if I can install that. Normally it requires internet, but let me check. See, it is asking for the download. So this is how you will install the tools. Uninstallation is also same like that only. Okay, uninstallation will be done. You go to the appwizard.cpl here. Okay, click on this application that you want to uninstall, and you see an option here. As soon as I click the tools here, the things get highlighted here. See, populate. Click on uninstall. Click on yes. Next, next, next. Uninstall. That's all. Now it will be removed from the computer. And sometimes it will ask you for restart also. Okay, finish. Not every tool will ask, but sometimes some tools will definitely ask you for the restart. Now this unpacking is still going on for the FortiClient. This is important because normally as a desktop support administrator or system administrator, we will install the VPN clients also. You should know what all VPN clients you use. If in interview somebody asked you, do you have any idea about the VPN tools, you can tell yes, I do have. Which one? We have used FortiClient. Do you know how to connect? Yes, I will show you how to connect that. Okay. Yeah, now the installation wizard populated, pop-up came. So yes, next, 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 install. So it will install in a while, and then you need to establish the connection actually. Okay, if you simply install the tool, it won't affect. So in every company, right, they will give you some SOPs, standard operating procedure. Okay, all these things will be documented in a profile, in a document. Okay, with the snippets. You have to go through that. Images will be there. You have to go through that, and you have to follow the step by step approaches. They will tell you have to go to the connections, create a connection, and what is the public IP. You need to add the public IP there, and then how to connect, how to authentication will done, whether it is a certificate based authentication or whether it is a username and password based authentication. Okay, based on that you can take the decision. So now we have finished the FortiClient installation, right? And if you look at here, FortiClient tool is here. Here also it is there. Okay, so let me double click on this FortiClient. And you see here remote access means you are going to connect to a VPN from your home. Today you are doing work from home and you are trying to connect to your office network. Okay, and how to set up that first initially. So you have to open the tool, and you see here some remote access is there. Okay, so you have an option to configure the VPN. Click on the configure the VPN. Okay, so as soon as you click on the configure VPN, it will populate and it will give you some options. Okay, what kind of connections you would like to create. Whether you create SSL VPN or IPsec VPN or XML VPN. Normally SSL and IPsec VPN will be used. Okay, so now let me show you the first option. Okay, so everything is same, only they will give you the document. In the connection name you can give my home to or my office network, my office network. Okay, so description you can mention VPN connection. Remote gateway, they will give you some IP address, some public IP. Okay, that is the remote gateway address. That can be like 11.12.13.14 example. Okay, and what is the port number, whether it is 443 or any other VPN ports, that can be added. And if you have multiple gateways, like sometimes multiple VPN gateways, one VPN gateway is there, means there is a problem. I mean, if this gateway has got a problem, you will not be able to connect to the computer. So they will try to add multiple, so that one or the other gateway will allow you to connect to your office network. Okay, so but now let me give you one. And port number, let me go with the 443 only, and it is telling the client certificate or normal username and password. You can select none, certificate is not there. Authentication, see, prompt on login. You can save it. Now you see, now next time when you just double click on this VPN, FortiClient VPN, if you go to the remote connections, there is already a connection. See, if you go to the remote access here, see, there is already a connection. In the pop down you can see my office network. Connect that and enter your username, say for example Manju, and you can put password, some password, and you can say connect. Now it will do some handshaking between your computer and the gateway address we have specified here. As soon as the negotiation happens, the handshake happens, so you will be getting connected to the office network, and you can connect, you can log into your office computers remotely. How to connect to the computer remotely? Go to run and type mstsc Microsoft Terminal Service Console. Okay, then it will tell you the remote desktop connection. Okay, means whatever computer you would like to connect remotely, you can either put the name of the computer or you can put the IP address of the computer, so that you can connect from your home to your office computer directly, and from there you can access whatever applications you wanted. Anyway, I'm going to show you all these things. Okay, but for now this is enough. So now you know how to install an application, how to uninstall an application, and how to configure the VPN also. These are all crucial for you guys. Okay, now the next topic which is left out. Okay, now let me explain about the access. Okay, now everything is ready, you have to give the computer to the production. Okay, so what you can do, you need to grant access to the computer, right? Okay, there are two ways of granting the access to the computer. I normally prefer commands, but I'll show you graphics also. Okay, so go to this file explorer, this PC, right click on this PC. You have an option called manage. Okay, local users and groups. There you have users and groups. So in IT, there are two kinds of users. One is local user, another one is domain user. The local user means the users whom you create locally in the computer. Say for example, let me create a new user called here Manju. Okay, and password can be password something something, and password something something. Okay, so I have created user. Where I have created the user? I have created the user not in the Active Directory, but I have created the user in the local computer. That is why I told you I mean, tomorrow I'm going to explain you, or in the demo class I told you, you can create the users in an hierarchical manner, team wise in the Active Directory. Correct, right? So there you create the, in the domain, you will create the users in the Active Directory, and you can use that user to grant access to this computer. But here what I have done, I have created the users in the local computer itself, and I can grant him access. Okay. How to grant access? You have to go to the groups here. In the groups, there are various groups are there, and all the groups specify some level of access. Okay. If you just, I want to grant access to Manju, simply log in and he cannot do anything. What you can do, you can give access to Manju here. Add Manju. See, I'm checking where the location is Windows 10. Check names. Okay, see Windows 10 slash Manju. If it is a domain user, it would have been like domain name, like Microsoft slash Manju, like that. Okay, so click on OK and apply. If it is simply a RDP access, if you want to give him administrator access, then you need to go to administrator here. See administrator, and you can add his name there. Okay, so now he has got administrator privileges. See, Manju has got administrator privileges now. Admin, and Manju is part of administrator group. Now he can do anything and everything. I'll show you that. Now he can try to install some application. Whether he will be able to install or not, I'll show you. Log off. Send controller delete. Instead of admin, just select Manju. Now log in with Manju. Yeah. See now Manju, his profile is getting created. First time his profile is getting created, so it will take some time, like 2-3 minutes to prepare the profile, because it should create a folder for you in the C Windows user, C colon users, and he has to create the desktop, documentation, documents, downloads, and all the folders, all the profile settings, everything should be created, right? First time. So normally first time it will take some time. Second time onwards, as already the profile is there, it will be quicker. That's why when you first time log into any of the computer, it will take some time. Second time onwards, it is faster, because already the profile is created there. So it is asking me to accept some terms conditions. See, it is created now. And now let me check who am I, who logged into this computer. Okay, how to check who logged into the computer, or which username it is currently logged in? You can go to command prompt and type who am I. Who am I? See, it's tell you, it will tells you this is W10 Manju. You may tell sir that I can see here Manju is there, that is also fine. But if you want to see whether it is a local user or a domain user, you will be able to tell with who am I only, because if it is the domain user, it will come like Microsoft slash Manju, or Facebook slash Manju, or Instagram slash Manju. Since it is a local user, it will give you the local computer name and then the username. Now let me go to the D drive. Okay, and go to softwares. See, and let me try to install this VLC, just to check whether Manju has got administrator access, right? Whether it will work or not. Administrator means he can do anything and everything. He can even remove the access to the actual administrator only. Okay, that much of high privileges he will have. Next, finish. See, pretty faster. So he has got the right level of access. So the last option is, see, it is done. See, VLC media player, it is already created an icon. So appwiz.cpl, if I do appwiz.cpl, you can see that application is installed. You see here, application VLC media player got installed. So that means this user called Manju has got the required level of access. Let me exit from the computer and see what left out. So we have learned how to install the drivers, VMware tools, how to rename the computer, how to verify the time zone, how to install the applications, how to install the VPN client and configure the connection, how to make the partitioning, and how to grant access. So this domain joining is there, right? So that this domain joining we will take tomorrow. Okay. So we'll talk how I'll explain you the difference between work group and the domain, and I'll explain you how to create a secured domain environment onwards. Okay, so from tomorrow the class will be pretty interesting because we are going to start the Active Directory. Okay, so please go through all the videos, question and answers I'll share you. Okay, read it. Any doubts we can close all the doubts tomorrow. I will answer all the doubts, clarify, and then we can get into the actual topic. With that I can, I think I can stop the recording now. One second.